Warahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh, dear viewers, and welcome to Success Path, where we explore different success stories from different individuals who are leaving a positive impact into our society. Today, we have the pleasure of hosting a remarkable young individual, Mohammed Yunus Habil, who is just 15 years old, I say, and has already made books. He's a motivational speaker, and he's entrepreneur, as we may say. Join us as we delve into the boundless creativity of this young individual. Okay, Mohammed, welcome with us.
Thank you very much for having me, and wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Thank you. Dear viewers, let's go to Roots of Vision and come back. So we are back. Hello, Mohammed, and welcome. Let's start our conversation into discovering your journey. At such a young age, you've already accomplished so much. Can you share a bit about yourself and what is your motivation?
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Mohammed Yunus Habil, an entrepreneur, motivational speaker, a content creator, a marketing specialist, an IT support specialist, many other certificates in a long list. But in short, I am a very ambitious person, and most importantly, I'm an author, because I believe that books are the only way to keep yourself in history's footprints.
Okay, so I have to ask, what do you prefer, being called an entrepreneur or an author?
An author, more like it, because I see being an entrepreneur as something that's been taken for granted. Suddenly, everyone's an entrepreneur.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
But an author is something special, because you get to write a book once in your life, and you get to have your first book only one time. Being an entrepreneur is a part of being a problem solver. It's a part of being a newcomer. It's a part of being someone who's very ambitious. And I think that I'm more of a calm person heading towards an author.
Okay, that's very interesting. We wish you the very best of success.
Inshallah.
Okay, now balancing multiple roles can be challenging. How do you do that? How do you balance content creation, being an entrepreneur, being a writer, and all of the so many roles that you mentioned?
I don't. There's no balance for me, because I don't think that you can live two lives at once.
Yes.
Right. So you live one life, and my life is as the content creator, motivational speaker, and as a side thing, I just have my studies. Yeah, studies are the most important thing at the moment because of academics, and I do love technology. I love nuclear physics. I love physics of all types and kinds. I'm more interested in things that can help me understand how the world works, how people work, and control, imperium.
Okay, so we're getting a little bit into philosophy here. Okay, now what drives you to pursue, and what drives your passion for entrepreneurship?
For me, I think that the only thing that drives my passion is my ability to solve problems. I love solving problems. I can't sleep at night if I have a problem and I can't solve it. Why? Is because if you have a purpose in life, and it's to solve problems, and you can't do that, what else can you do? So, in my idea, solving problems is not just about how you solve the problem. It's not about the answer to the question. It's about finding better questions, finding more useful questions to answer. Because it's not about finding the great answer, it's about asking the right questions.
Yes, and what about motivational speaking?
Motivational speaking is something that I was compelled by thanks to listening to many inclusive public speakers such as Steve Harvey, Gary Vee, many, many more. And most importantly, I really love the way that speaking can engage, right? Because now there's a saying, and it's that the tongue is the most important body part of all because it has two gates, the lips and teeth.
Yeah.
So I think that speaking is a very important thing, because not only do actions affect people, but words affect people more than actions. Motivating people is not just telling them what to do and what not to do, but it's giving them a better vision. It's extracting from life and helping others. I don't do this to get anything in return, because what I get in return is experience.
That's very interesting. That's very sweet of you also.
Thank you.
Okay, now can you share some insight into your creative process as an author?
As an author, well, first of all, I'd like to thank the publishing house, and I love to think about writing in general as a different form of speaking, because I think that observation, right, and realization and really thinking, stopping and sleeping on something is the best way to extract everything from it. When you read a book twice, you see different types of sights depending on your emotional state. But what I think is that when it comes to becoming an author, the most important thing is that when you write your book, you know who you're writing it to, why you're writing it, and the information and its value. So if you know how to value your book correctly, others will value it much higher than what you think it is.
Yeah, that's so true. Can I ask you about what is your targeted audience by your book?
Everyone, because Life Essentials is a book where anyone who, at any time or part in their life, can just pick it up, read it. You know, the hardest thing to do is after picking a book off a shelf is not putting it on another one. And for me, I believe that if you can actually read a book, not necessarily my book, because all knowledge, you know, knowledge is always pure, but all knowledge, no matter where it comes from, has always been in many people's brains and minds. So I think that as long as you pick a book off from a shelf, you've already done an incredible part in trying to gain knowledge, because that's what we're here for.
Yeah, that's so true. Okay, what inspired you to venture into entrepreneurship, and can you share some of the projects or businesses that you have in mind?
So, yeah, well, projects and businesses, that's a bit private, but I can maybe give you sneak peeks.
Yeah.
For me, I ventured into entrepreneurship because I saw that everyone who I looked up to was calling themselves an entrepreneur, and I knew nothing better at the time than to call myself the same. But then I ended up understanding that entrepreneurship is something meant for me, but not as much as I was meant for it. So I understand that entrepreneurship is like being a businessman and a businesswoman, but the difference is a businessman has direct change. They're always in control of the motion. An entrepreneur is looking for some place, some time where they can't be in control and then learn how to tame it. So the difference is playing with an animal that you're used to and then taming a new one.
Yeah, that's very deep. That's the least that I can say. Dear viewers, let's go to the jingle and come back after. Dear viewers, we are back with Mohammed. Okay, now for motivational speaking and content creation, what messages do you aim to convey to your audience?
A lot of messages. I can't put them all in one speech.
The highlighted one.
But yes, the most important ones are never giving up. And no matter how many times I say those messages, it's not going to echo through as much as when they experience something and they learn from it. You see, the more you say something, the bigger it has an impact. Because subconsciously, you may be listening to things while you're working or studying or even playing, but those things go to your subconscious mind. What we see and what we understand in our 5, even 7 senses that people think, they all are just at the surface of the human body. We're not talking biology, we're talking in the mind. So what I think is that the most important thing is that the people understand and comprehend more than they listen. Don't tell me how many books you've read. Tell me how many sentences you've understood.
Yeah. What are the lessons that you get from reading these books?
Yes.
So
most important
how do you
thing.
tailor your speeches to resonate within your audience?
I always know what my audience is. Most of the time, well, basically, I have a video on this actually on YouTube, and it's how to be a professional public speaker or presenter. So basically, there's owning the room, right? And then there's open up. These two are basically acronyms of professional public and presenters who understand that they most and foremost, they need to know what they're going to do, how they're going to do it, and then the next thing is which I really adore is that I always know my audience, because no one's going to come here to see someone that they don't know. And if they don't, I always introduce myself. I never let my audience, because if you want to be a public speaker, you can't let your audience affect what you're going to do. You're going to affect the mood of your audience. Because wherever I go, whether it's on television, whether it's public speaking, I always like to put them in a fun mood.
Yeah.
Because it's a type of way of showing that, you know what, you're not here just to learn, because everyone sees learning as boring. You're here to experience something new. You're here to understand, to comprehend, and to be a part of history.
Yes, it is all about the new methods and new techniques of delivering the information. Okay, now can you recall a moment or experience that ignited your spirit and motivated you to venture your passion and to follow it?
For me, I think that over-exaggeration in life is what makes experiences better. I couldn't have gone into public speaking, content creation, and all of this, and I wouldn't be here if it weren't for my mom and my dad. So I thank them very much from where I am today, and thank you for what they have done to me and what they will always do for me, as well as my siblings. But I believe that most of the times in life, it's not always about the way you look at things, it's about the way they affect on you.
Yeah.
So if I hadn't seen other people understand, if I hadn't seen other people create content like YouTubers, gamers, public speakers, I wouldn't have gotten the innovation. I wouldn't have gotten
the idea.
Right. So as a child, you're a sponge. You're a white blank piece of paper that's ready to be scribbled and doodled on. And what I think is that when I saw YouTube, thanks to YouTube and thanks to other social media platforms, people expressing their ideas in such a formal way, it's such an easy way where they seem very calm, very comfortable, in control of the situation. Being professional at something called speaking made me think that, you know, this is innovative, this is new, and I'm new, so put two together.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Okay, how do you stay resilient and how do you maintain being such a good motivational speaker and, as I said before, good at your school and multiple roles like being a writer and all of that?
I like to do it. It's an easy thing because there's a saying that says, if you love your job, you're never going to work a day in your life. And I love doing it. I love doing many things with a pen. One of them is drawing, although I'm horrible at it. But I love doing it as well because any way that helps express the feelings, whether it's emotionally or, you know, through thought process of any person and the human body, such as expressing stress, expressing ideas. The reason why I speak with my hands most of the time is to dissolve the stress and break the ice.
Yeah, that's
so I just love doing them. That's why they seem so easy, and I do them frequent. Even alone at home, I do them, even here.
Okay, we don't have enough time left, so would you tell me what is your most proud of achievement?
My most proud of achievement? Probably being on many news channels, maybe making my country proud, Algeria, making my parents proud. But my proudest achievement is yet to come. I can tell you that much.
Okay. Well, we are tuned. Dear viewers, we have arrived to the end of today's episode with Muhammad Yunus Sharhabil. It was such an interesting conversation. See you next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.